Okay. Hi, welcome back. This is PodLab, and we are here for your entertainment and your greater knowledge about digital marketing. This, my friends, is week 15 of digital
Oh my
marketing
gosh.
with PodLab. And today we are talking about search engine optimization. And the
Yep.
people talking to you about it today, as usual, is me, Alex, and my very good friend Ria. And between us, we are here to bring you news about digital marketing and to give you as much information about how to get on the ladder and get going as a digital marketer and create an income for yourself where you don't rely on anybody else, just you. So today,
Excellent.
SEO, search engine optimization. What do we have to say about this issue? What's the big deal about search engine optimization, Ria? Where would you
Not a
where
very
would you
big deal.
jump
Very
in on this?
simply put, I can go for that because this is something I use daily.
Yep.
So it's basically showing up when people search on Google. Very simply and stupidly put.
So
Someone types how to start digital marketing into Google search. SEO is what makes your content show up in the search instead of someone else's. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah, it
It's
does.
it's like it's like it's like putting up a signage on the highway so people driving by, in this case searching on Google, can find your store.
It's
That's the
yeah, I
simplest way
get
I can
that.
explain.
And that's a good explanation. There's obviously there's going to be more to it than that because
Oh, for
this
sure.
is the sort of sign is a big sign saying how to get into digital marketing this way, and then someone clicks on that and goes, okay, fine. Oh, look, we found Alex and Ria, and we can learn everything we need to know about getting into digital marketing from them. But
Yeah.
there's also the breadcrumbs that go into the SEO, isn't there? And they are the 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 hashtags or words or common phrases that people use in how to become a digital marketer. So obviously in there, digital marketer, how to, um, all those different things get broken down and looked at, analyzed by Google and by Instagram and by TikTok, all saying, what is this person talking about? Where should we file this episode of PodLab? Does it go into generic digital marketing or does it go into SEO optimization? Because they seem to be in their podcast talking a lot about SEO today. So that's kind of how it gets filed and how it becomes easily available to people who search for individual terms. Is that fair? Is that right?
Yeah. So basically, if I have to stick to Google, this is for any search engine you take, no matter what. But Google is the most common one. So let's just talk about Google.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair play.
Google's job basically is to show you the best answer, not just any answer. So if you want your, say, whatever your offer is or whatever the content is that people are looking for to show up at the very first or the very beginning of the list, you need to know what your audience is asking about and use exactly those words. Now, we are obviously going to break it down further, but this is the overalls. That's what Google is going to do. Someone asking very generic question like what is digital marketing, it's going to give out like 100 answers, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the job is yours to pick which is the good,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know which is the best one. But at the same time, if you ask, say, maybe specify it a little bit more, asking, uh, how to make money online with no experience, that's when that no experience is something that is used as an SEO, search
Yeah.
engine optimization.
Yeah.
No experience, so Google will throw you the best answer for that particular category. Okay, so this person, Google understands this person has no experience. I'm going to give something that's stupid simple to understand. And maybe because we are stupid simple, our podcast shows at the first of the listing and you click on it
Yeah.
and your
Yeah. Yeah.
life changes.
But I
That makes
think,
sense, right?
yeah, it does. It really does. Because you need to get the best from Google. you need to, and people don't do this, and it really amazes me actually. Uh, to get the guess best from Google, you need in the in a little search bar there, you need to put in as many words as you dare put in, because every word you put in narrows the search a little bit more. And when you put more words in about what specifically you're looking for, so if you put make money online, you're just going to get a ton of stuff. And generally speaking, the ton of stuff that arrives on Google is going to be the big, big, big accounts right at the top. And that not going to necessarily going to be what you're looking for. In fact, it's probably unlikely to be what you're looking for. But if you say, right, how do I start digital marketing or affiliate marketing with no audience, just exactly as you've just said? What's the best
Of course.
online
Okay.
business for beginners? But then everybody's putting in what's the best online for beginners. So why not put best online for beginners over the age of 40, or who want to concentrate on people between the ages of 20 and 30 as their target audience? Put that into Google and it's going to give you the specific results that come back. And so, for people over the age of 40, marketing for beginners will probably be selling slippers. For people who are marketing to people between 20 and 30, it might be, well, this is the best bikinis, the best surf gear, the best whatever it is. So it's a very different field that you're going to be getting coming back, even though it's still what's the best beginner for digital marketing. But you SEO brings in the refined results.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's also important to um, like be aware of the fact that just because SEO words matter so much, you don't end up putting random things. Why I'm saying this? Say a person who wants to buy running shoes, they want to buy the shoes. You giving them a step by step tutorial on how to tie running shoes, or how to
which
polish
running
the
shoes
sole
look
or whatever, I don't
best?
know.
Yeah.
Yes, it is not going to help you. So you need to know that your product is about buying that shoe, and
Yeah.
accordingly use SEO to put that out. So that differentiation you have to also understand. Making
It's
sense?
true. No, it makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. But where do we put the words? Because they can be like when I'm doing a reel, I'll be talking about carnivore, this, that, and the other, meat, and ranting on about something as normal. That doesn't necessarily mean that Google or Instagram is going to pick up on the exact words I'm saying and put them into a shelf somewhere. It's got to be within, more often than not, it's got to be within the text of what it is you're putting out there. Is that
Yeah.
fair to say?
Yeah.
So it's the
Yeah. It's
comments,
also
and
something
it's,
that you put on the hooks, because
yeah,
end of the day that's also text. Ensure that the content, whatever content you're putting out, you're not only talking those words out, it's on the hook as well
yeah,
as in the caption as well.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you can very subtly put it. You don't have to specifically say, okay, these are the SEO words. So, in broad chunks, you put it doesn't work. Algorithm will any which
yeah,
way
yeah,
pick it up.
yeah.
So just ensure those words are included in whatever frame structure you're using to give the caption on, put the hooks on. And of course, you're saying it out loud. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how generally mine has worked. I put it inside my content, and I do it very subtly.
Yeah. Okay. I still use in mine, I still use on the comments, I
Fair
still
enough, fair
use
enough.
hashtags.
Especially, actually, you
So
know what, Alex? Since this is the platform for the beginners, I would actually suggest to do that, because initially that's also how I grew faster, because the algorithm understood that, okay, so these are the exact audience she wants to put this out to.
yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, you are massaging your algorithm's ego by additionally putting it there out there. It will definitely help. You can do it subtly for sure. But I honestly, that's a good correction, Alex. Thank you. I had actually forgotten that this is how I used to do it, and that's how my content actually reached the people I
Who
wanted it
you
to
want to
reach.
reach. Yeah.
Yeah, now
And
I
it's
can do
it's
it
important.
subtly, because now my algorithm has already, it
Yeah.
is fixed now. It knows exactly who I'm talking to. But before that, your algorithm needs to know. So if you're hammering those words, there is no harm in that.
Mm-mm. So with the SEO words, yeah, they matter when they're in your captions. They matter when they're in your content. Yeah, but you can put in the hashtags, and the hashtags will give the SEO provider a target. They go, right, that's what they're specifically wanting to target in their SEO, and that helps you build. But how do you find those hashtags? Well, there is a lot of research you can do, which is spending time on Instagram, spending time on TikTok, spending time on Google to work out what your avatar, talked about this in the last session, talk about your avatar, which is always key. That's the person you want to go to. And we're talking about your avatar and the types of things they're going to be interested in. And you might have a good idea about that, but actually, when you step back, your ideas are just your ideas. They're not the ideas of many people. And you get the ideas of many people from research. And the research you do is going to be mostly based on search engines like Google. There are other search engines are available, but everybody uses Google. So you go into Google and you say, right, I'm trying to pitch this product at people who are 20 to 30 years old, and they are based in Midwest Australia or America or wherever. This is the type of thing they're going to be doing. This is the type of job they have. Tell me what search engines I should be looking at. Now, AI is amazing for doing this nowadays because it will just hone in real quick. Google
Yeah.
will always help, but AI actually is a bit of a game changer nowadays because the beauty about AI is it will ask you questions, go, hold on, I don't quite understand what you're aiming at. What are you aiming at? You can fill in the blanks, and then bam, it will give you your hashtags, which, you can put them in as hash, whatever the word is, or you can just keep referring to using those words sporadically as you go through your reel or your comments, whatever it may be. And that raises your game as far as the search engine, Google, optimizing you and finding you. So that's key. As a beginner, you need to know your hashtags. You need to know what it is you're trying to aim at.
Yeah. I would it's actually easy. I would also say it's like an action task, but this is what I used to do to understand how to get the right kind of audience. So for SEO, what I would do is, I would think about what would someone Google if they had a problem or they had the problem I solve. It's like reverse engineering it. Then you
Yeah.
get the answer of what they could be possibly typing. And
Yes.
accordingly, you create your hook, caption, whatever.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And this goes back to everything we've been talking about in the episodes leading up to this. It's about reverse engineering. It's about thinking who your target audience is. And your target audience is more often than not going to be a former version of yourself. And so you can think about yourself and think, well, what would I like if I buy this? But I come back to when you're doing all of that, and it's great to do, and it's important to do. But when you're doing that, it is just you that is coming up with the answers. Whereas if you go to Google or you go to an AI bot, then it's giving you a more generic, more rounded version of what the answers would be from other different people's points of view, because not every 53-year-old professional who's trying to get out of their job because they freaking hate it and they want to get into digital marketing, who could that be? Not everyone is thinking the same as me. Other people may think differently or may have different desires or needs or whatever. And you get that rounded viewpoint from asking other people. And that's what we used to do. Like 18 months ago, before AI was really big and was ruling the world, we used to literally put out questionnaires to people in our field to go, what would interest you about this? Could you give me feedback? Could you tell me what would interest you? A very Stone Age form of AI.
The primitive form of AI.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So SEO is key to getting forward, getting yourself found, and that in turn is key to you being successful and making money. And we are only here to be successful and to make money. Yeah, I
Yep,
love talking
yep.
to Ria. She's great. She's a good
Yeah,
friend.
I
And
want
we
to talk
probably
about. Sorry, go ahead, sorry.
go. No, I was just bigging you up. I was just saying that I love talking to you. You're a good friend, and I'd want to speak to you whether we were doing digital marketing or not. But the fact that potentially there's some money on the back of this, well, you can count me in. I'm here. You know.
Absolutely, same here. Absolutely. There's a whole point why we jumped into this, right? When you threw that idea, you're like, yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All
Sorry,
right.
you were
All
going to
right.
say
So
something else.
I wanted to touch base on some of the mistakes that beginners in this field generally make while using their SEOs.
Yeah.
I have been one of those. So
We've all been
speaking
one
from
of.
experience, we have this tendency when we are beginning to, we are going to go big, right? Targeting all the huge as keywords, not understanding the fact that it is not just us in the competition. There are also bigger players. Oh my
Yeah.
God. There are also bigger players.
Yeah.
And trying to rank for for digital marketing itself, you're selling a course or whatever it is. Trying to rank for digital marketing, it's like you are competing against giant companies like Google itself, Apple itself.
Yeah.
It's impossible as a beginner. So that's one of the mistakes that people kind of tend to
So
make.
how do you get
You
around
cannot
that?
compete
What
with
do you
them.
do?
Go
What do
very
you do as a
specific.
beginner?
Go very specific. The exact
Yeah.
example we provided previously, right? Like you don't talk about digital marketing in an overarching or an overall manner. You go very specific, as in, how to start a digital marketing with no experience. That no experience factor is what makes you separate from other companies. So you got to figure that out what it is. But yeah, this is generally what people make mistake. I have been there. I have done it quite a few times. Only when I was corrected by my mentor. He was spanking on my back and said, "Hello, calm the f down." So yeah, she taught me you don't go that way. You go more specific, stupid specific, but be specific. The what you'll imagine that word is not even going to come into your mind at the first go, because you're thinking, oh my god, I have to compete with YouTube and Google, and because all of them are putting out these big ass words.
Mm.
You don't. If
No,
you're
that makes
selling
sense.
one digital product which solves a very specific problem, ensure you're not calling it my digital product that will solve your problem. No. You talk about that specific problem within that hook, or however you want to put it.
No, that's really cool. And that's a really
Yeah.
you've just summed that up really well, but we need an example. So my digital product that will solve your problem. Well, what problem is that? Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about. My specific
Yeah.
problem that will solve your ingrowing toenails. Pff, blimey, yeah, okay. Everybody knows exactly what you're talking about. There's no mistaking that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the point. Google is not going to be concentrating on people's ingrowing toenails. You are, bam, you've just hit your
Yep.
niche, and you're going to find people quick, smart.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It's good point. Very good point.
Also, please know that SEO takes time. You have to give it 3 to 6 months minimum. I'm saying 3 to 6 months, not weeks, months. Because please understand, if you're a beginner, you are new to this. There are players, there are honchos, there are so many other people who's already doing this day in and day out. And
Yeah.
you are one of them who's also trying to sell something which is similar to the products that they are also selling.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You will find your own audience. All I'm saying is give it that much time. You have to give that much time for your content to grow, for the SEO to settle in and understand exactly who that niche specific demographic of yours is. Give that much time. Beginners make that mistake. They think, 3 to 6 months, and like, oh my God, I have done so much. I have not seen anything in terms of results or anything. Yeah, because you are still an infant or like a toddler in this game.
It's a very hard, demoralizing process. when you're starting out.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
but not least of all, and I hate these people. I'm so sorry, but I hate these people who are busy telling you, "Hey, buy my course and you'll be a millionaire." And it's like, no,
yeah.
just stop telling these people things. You're giving them unrealistic dreams. Now, obviously, the unrealistic dreams sell, which means they're making bank while you're sat there going, "Why is this course that I paid top dollar for really not turning my life around?"
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
yeah.
no. Is as you said, the SEO, which is the breadcrumbs within your product, your reels, the posts that
Mm-hmm.
you're making on Instagram, the breadcrumbs within them, the breadcrumbs that will lead to your success, don't even get bedded in for 3 months, 5 months, 6 months. They don't really start returning anything to you for 12 months. So the idea, which is a complete falsehood, that you're going to pick up this course and you're just going to fly, is ridiculous. The only people that I've ever seen do it, I can't say, and I'm not going to mention who they are, but the only people I've ever seen pick up a course and fly and make big money are people who started with big money. And they
Mm.
have, and this goes back to the topic we had last, which is they have just chucked money into this and they have advertised themselves everywhere. And then they've done
Yeah,
face-to-face courses where you go and you sit, and I went to one of them years ago. You go and you sit in a room and go, "Oh, tell me all about digital marketing." And they give you the basics that they got 6 weeks ago, but they've thrown so much money at it, it's working for them. Not because they've got a massive, massive following, but because they've got enough people coming in to a room and paying to be in a room and listen to them. That's one way of making money in this quickly, but it's not a good way because it doesn't last long.
yeah. Yeah, it will not last long. That's what. Again, we have obviously addressed this before in our other episodes, but again, how will you know what questions your people are asking for? That's where your content comes into place. Your DMs, be active, answer everybody. Whoever is
Yes.
coming to you, chatting with you, asking
Yeah.
questions, engage.
Yeah.
That by that I do not mean that, cold DM people, force them to give an answer to you. No, just wait, because they will come to you because they are curious. They want to know what is it that you're offering. How can you exactly solve their problem? So listen to their problems. That's the only way you'll understand what exactly they are asking for. What is the problem that they want you to solve for them? And that happens only when you answer the comments, answer the DMs, show up for your people, and that's how you find your answers. That's how you
Yeah.
find your SEO words. And that's how
Absolutely right.
I think I should be ending this episode. That's all. That's all the point I wanted to make.
No, that's a really good point because actually, everything I've seen for months and months and months and months, when you're talking about digital marketing and trying to grow your accounts, it is about interaction. It's about interacting with other people who are doing similar things to you or other people who are showing interest in what you are doing. And it is about interaction. It is about getting a comment and following up on that comment and doing it as quickly as you can after the comments arrived. 3-4 weeks later, yeah, you followed up, but it's cold by then. You want to do it the same day or the day after at the least, and just go, "Yeah, okay, thanks for reaching out. This is my answer to that, blah blah blah. If you want to know any more, get back to me." Or tell them something else which they've not heard about, and or that you don't think they'll have heard about, and they'll ask you more questions.
Yeah,
It creates
yeah,
the dialogue. And then the search engines, they love that. So yeah, it's
yeah.
cool. Good.
So
Well, that is SEO. I jumped in
yeah,
a little bit early, but I think that's a very basic hit on it. There's so much to learn about it. There are people who basically have jobs that deal in only SEO. And so it's
yeah,
an industry in itself. Think we can do it in 25 minutes is probably doing it a massive disservice. But for those who are watching PodLab regularly, then actually that what we're doing is we're feeding you enough to get yourself off the
yeah.
ground, and then you can learn more about these things.
Yep,
Cool.
yep. All right. So with that, our episode comes to an end. And please, by all means, like our page, subscribe, comment, please, for God's sakes, comment. And I know it's not easy to always, show up, be the first one to comment there, because there are a lot of things in the back end that you're thinking, ooh, what if the people who I know comes to, see that I'm also doing this. Don't feel all of that. End of the day, this is what you want. End of the day, today you are on this episode because apparently you were searching for it and the algorithm knows. So ask us questions.
Yeah.
And if you think you want an extensive step by step to this, or an extensive details on this particular SEO, how it works, please write to us. We'll arrange that. Of course, it comes with a cost, but yeah, we'll arrange for it. And along with that, I think we have talked about everything that our SEO topic should be covering. And that's it.
We're done.
So this is Alex, Ria signing off for today. Love and peace as always.